Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you are. And welcome back to the beta plans of a return to its grey matter. Now, I'm going to fess up here. I've been walking around blindly, wondering what the hell I am supposed to do for about 10 minutes, finding myself to become, or at least to feel, a big asshole, dum-dum. I just didn't know what to do. I was walking around and I couldn't figure it out. So, I went into Hannah's room and I'm like, girl, I can't talk to you, what am I supposed to do? And then, in the end, well, I walked in here with the almighty spacebar on. And if you click on the almighty spacebar, all of a sudden this flipped up. Camera! I never noticed.
I need a camera for tonight, but I don't want to just take it. Helena would probably let me borrow it if I asked.
There we go.
I noticed you have a camera. Would you mind if I borrowed it, just for a day or two?
Take it. I never use it. What's the fun of photographs if you're behind the camera and can't be in them?
Thanks.
Well, I think with that, we're probably gonna convene with the Lambs Club once again, because is this all that we needed? It's 92%. Yeah, but that probably means we just need to convene now at Edmund's Hall itself again, on the quad. Because I'm sure that Helena wouldn't have given us that camera if we didn't give her all the dirt on everybody else. At least that's what I'm going to assume here. So,
Hi.
there we go.
Wow. Everyone looks so serious.
I get that way during the full moon. Some people do the werewolf thing, but I do Walter Cronkite.
Well, it feels momentous, doesn't it?
We're agreed, right? We're going to vote. And we'll all either stay in the experiment or quit. Whatever the group vote decides. One for all and all for one.
How do we do it? Should we just raise hands?
Silent ballot? Do we need that? Does anyone care?
Okay. Did the cutscene just end? Oh! Oh! Divide and conquer, we just did that. Set and stored newspaper, the ominous mailbag, we'll reuse that. Telephone psychic, the bottom's cup we used. Up in smoke, did we use that one? Don't think so, but that doesn't seem appropriate here. Fruit bowl. This is always a hit party routine. You invite members of the audience to help you think of the names of different fruit. As they call out names, you write them down and put them in a bowl, your fruit bowl. When you've got plenty of fruit in your fruit bowl, show the audience a previously prepared gift bag. Say that you have predicted ahead of time what fruit will be plucked from your fruit bowl. Invite a volunteer to put a name from the fruit bowl and read it, then show the contents of the gift bag. Voila! Your prediction is revealed to be correct. The trick, no matter what the audience says, you actually write out every time the name of the fruit you previously prepared. Place the bowl in front of the audience and tell them you need their help to create a nice fruit bowl. With pad and pen in hand, ask people to call out the names of fruit. With casual concentration, write on your notepad, tear off the sheet, write it up good and tight, and toss it into the bowl. Repeat as the audience calls out names. In reality, every single time you're writing down the name of the fruit you previously prepared, such as apple, but you can make this convincing by varying the amount of time it appears your pen has contact with the paper, asking the spelling of a different fruit, and so on. But only one person writes down the votes? When the audience is running low on ideas, and when you've heard the name of your chosen fruit at least once, say you've gotten enough fruit and put away the pad and pen. Pull out your gift bag and tell your audience that inside the piece of fruit, your prediction for what it will be. Okay, so I understand the
I have
nature,
a suggestion.
but
I know a great way to vote that's democratic, but allows for an element of fate. Plus, it assures that the vote can't be split.
Do tell.
I'll write down everyone's vote and we'll put them in a hat. Charles, can we borrow yours? We'll draw one ballot from the hat, and that will be the final decision.
that makes
Interesting.
no sense.
It's good.
Chances will favor the more popular answer, but it still allows everyone a shot. Like drawing straws.
Fate. It allows for fate. I like it.
Good. Let's start. Charles, quit the experiment or stay.
Quit.
Helena?
Not that it isn't a barrel of laughs, but quit.
I vote quit too. I'm sensing a trend here.
I vote stay.
Stay.
And now me. I vote stay. Good thing we're relying on fate. Who wants to pick?
I'd like to. May I?
Go on.
Stay.
That's it then. One for all.
And all in deep doo-doo.
See you tonight.
Bye, Sam.
See you.
See ya.
Bye, Sam.
Helena doesn't really care either way, but she has to go, of course, with Charles's prediction. And yes, you just rigged it.
Did you rig that, oh great Sam Eenie?
It was a split vote. It could have gone either way.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Yeah, Harvey has a right to consider this. This is so weird that you would allow this. Certainly, if it was 5 to 1 with stay or not. Wait, what's going on?
Damn it. Laura?
If you are trying to get Laura back via these experiments and your actions, well, I can still understand you might get startled, but I think I would have tried to stay in the shower and try to be welcoming. Might be me. Nothing there. I do like the fact once again that we've switched back. What are our goals? A day in the rowboat. That's a pretty long one. Psy and the mind. What happened the day before and the experiment. What happened the day before. Well, let's look in the bathroom. I mean, that's where we felt had the psychic presence.
There's nothing in there now. Was Laura really here this morning?
Seemed like it.
I don't need a towel.
Well, the towel is the most important thing if you're a hitchhiker. So says Sam, and so says Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Always have a towel. Oh, it's still there.
Laura's dress. Could Laura herself have taken it? Now I really am going mad.
Oh, it's gone. It's just the plastic wrappings, I just now realized indeed.
Laura's white...
White dress is missing. Darn it, I clicked that away too soon. I'm so sorry. But that's what he was about to say. But it's missing. Anything else of note? In the places that she used to love and sit. I also can't remember if these bowls were over
Laura
here.
used to brush her hair every night before bed.
Yeah, I
Laura. I read the driest science books I can find. Sam's room. She's probably not here, as usual.
How can you complain about that? You send her
Sam's
out.
room.
You... Okay, now you're just being a bit of a dick. Do. Wait, I gained nothing from the fact that I noticed that the white dress was missing? Oh no, it's chapter 5 bonus, alright. Well, time to have a conversation with Miss Dalton, who's trying her best not to have these events happening back to us. The day before, I guess we're gonna set up a new Psy experiment.
Good morning. How was your breakfast?
Fine. Is Samantha in?
She's at university. Would you like me to call her?
Actually, I prefer not to be disturbed. If she comes in, tell her that, will you?
Of course.
Wow. Once again, I am this Miss Dalton. She gets a regular A+ for being a lady trying to do her best. I don't know if it is really good to try and. Well, perhaps it is because you're seeing ghosts and you're trying to.
I don't need to call right now.
Oh, okay. I don't know exactly yet what we're doing, but if we're doing another Psy experiment, I guess we're gonna need another photo from the box of photos. The day before.
She hated me for taking this.
Alright.
Laura and me.
She does look wonderful. Is
That
this
was
one?
taken on our honeymoon.
No honeymoon?
That's the gîte rural we lived in. That's the gîte.
Sorry, I don't even know what that means.
Laura and me at the Assam.
Reserve in India. No, that all don't sound like things we need right now. The office door?
That's my old consulting office.
There's nothing there that I want. Alright, as you wish. By the way, interesting to know that if you hardly use this room, why keep it draped like that? But I guess that's just a minor thing, I suppose. Private lab. I guess something's going to be there for us to look into. Why is my voice acting like this, by the way? I have no idea. Okay, now I'm over-exaggerating it, but still. Puzzling.
I can't go in there now.
I'm Nothing? You didn't do an experiment. How can this go to number generators?
What is it, Laura? Keep going, darling. Give me a few more letters.
Why is the low one didn't move? I am poisoned? No. Impotent? No. Well, impotence could work. Impotence. Don't see the point of it being important. What is your plan for today, sir? Samantha saw Laura at the top of the stairs in the foyer. She was wearing the white dress. Laura's physically touched me this morning while I showered. Her hand touched me and waved? Moved, as if alive. Lasted about 3 seconds. To do for today. Appointment with Dr. Ravskin. I think at least that is appointment. Check RNG device, just did that. Repeat memory exercise for a new session with Laura. Use one of Laura's favorite places for inspiration. Favorite... Do we have a telephone? Laura's favorite place for inspiration. We need to record perhaps that we now were touched.
I don't need to make a new video log right now.
No, that's pointless.
It's a scam.
Let's look at the Book of Ramskim if we have an appointment with him. Is there a telephone address in here? No. Guess we then just don't know the address automatically. Or we need to look at that in the kitchen. One of her favorite places of Laura. I'm guessing one of the photos again. That's, I don't have much else to go on. But probably we need to do them in order, so...
Hello. Everything all right?
Fine, thanks. It's a business card from Inspector Pazer of the Oxford Police Department. He was the investigator on the accident.
We already called him.
Simon's business card with his phone number.
Oh, this was your old colleague, right? Before Linkweller. But it doesn't have a card of Rumskin. I doubt we need to use it right now, but...
I don't need to...
Never hurts to try. Photos? What? Okay, Dr. Styles was in for a little dance, apparently.
She hated me.
Yes. This is not a place.
That was taken on our honeymoon.
That's not good enough as her favorite place.
That's the Gite... Laura and me... Laura...
Sometimes it double clicks by accident.
I don't know why I carry my wallet. I hardly ever leave the house.
Here, that's an interesting note though. I hardly ever leave the house. It doesn't mean that he never leaves the house. So it could have been possible that Angela Mulholland did saw him out of sight of the house. One of Laura's favorite places. Ooh, hold on. The pictures in the dining room. She made those. We could use that as an inspiration.
Timmins Park. Laura loved the place. Might be a good spot to try to recreate a memory today. Surely it won't be crowded on a dreary weekday. Laura's painting.
Okay. We're actually going outside. Oh, we also can go to Dr. Ramuskin's house himself. Alright, then Dr. Stiles is leaving the house. We still have things to do inside the house, but that's logical. Also look that the marker is now different. That's very interesting. First the appointment.
Dr. Stiles, it's very good to meet you.
Sorry to disturb you.
It's an honor. I remember when your Scientific American article came out. My colleagues and I were thrilled to see such open-mindedness in a leading neurobiologist.
As you can see, things have deteriorated since then.
Please, come inside. On the phone, it sounded important.
One thing you learn as a neurobiologist is that reality is subjective, like the story of the blind man and the elephant. One of my patients had a brain tumor and became convinced his wife was an alien in disguise. Everyone else saw an everyday housewife. He saw something horrible. What clues do we pick up from our environment every day that tell us how to perceive the world? One man sees a pile of logs, another a sleeping giant.
Perception is a slippery thing.
My wife, Laura, died in 2002, but the reality I chose was to keep her alive. In my mind and in my heart. I started experiments in an isolation tank to bring back as many memories of her as possible, even the small and subtle ones. And I didn't give a toss what anyone thought.
And now?
The thing I didn't foresee was that Laura might actually come back.
I've suddenly got quite a chill. Perhaps you'll start from the beginning while I light the fire.
No fire, please.
Oh, please forgive me. I'll call for some tea. I'm quite anxious to hear what you have to say, Dr. Stiles. If you'd start at the beginning, please. It sounds fascinating. I've never performed any experiments with an isolation tank myself, but they may well concentrate certain energies. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. And I'd be very interested in your theories on the phenomenon, as a neurobiologist, if you'd be so kind.
In cases that you're familiar with of hauntings, is it typical for the deceased to obsess over their deaths?
I'd say so, particularly if it was violent.
Laura keeps communicating about the accident, but I'm not sure if there's really something there or if she's just fixated on that moment out of shock.
I know you'll leave no stone unturned finding out. If there's nothing to it, it will be clear soon enough.
Yes, of course. Have you heard of any similar hauntings, for lack of a better word?
Some of the elements, such as the way Laura communicated with you in the tank and the RNG message. These sound like classic communiques from the spirit world. But other things you've described, the moved nightgown, the form under the sheets, and most particularly the events at the university, those sound like PK activity, telekinesis, objects being moved with the power of the mind. Are you positive all these manifestations are Laura?
Of course. One paranormal source is remarkable enough, much less two different ones. Don't you agree?
You have a point.
Is there any connection between psi activity and heat or fire?
Yes. Telekinesis in particular is very elemental. There's a classic poltergeist case that involved a young girl in the American heartland. The manifestations in her household all revolved around water. Water running down the walls of the house, seeping out of the wallpaper, and welling up from the floors. Another classic telekinesis phenomenon is raining stones. And I recall reading about a shaman in East Africa who could make his victims burst into flames. It would all suggest that telekinetic powers are drawn from the earth. But I'm not aware of any studies done on the subject.
Okay. Back up. Fire, water, and earth. I am convinced they all come from the earth. What? That make no sense. Also, telekinesis or telekinetic powers are the ability to move things with a mind. They don't involve, by my knowledge, normal combustion of your enemies, for instance. I find the description here of telekinesis perhaps a little bit weird, but then again, I am not a scientist on these matters, and perhaps the term is used broader.
I'm wondering if the events on campus aren't some kind of psychic residue from Laura's attempts to come through. If she's generating energy, it might get channeled in unpredictable ways.
I can't say, of course, but the energy involved in the campus events is so unusually powerful. It's unlike any spiritual communication I've ever heard of.
But you said yourself you've never dealt with a case that involved an isolation tank.
True. I'm quite curious to see where this is all heading, Dr. Stiles.
Studies done with dying and comatose patients have provided some interesting clues about consciousness. There are authenticated cases of the mind projecting itself from the body, witnessing things that occurred far away. If the mind can project itself from the body, then it's possible for consciousness to survive physical death.
Do you have a scientific explanation for how that might work?
Quantum theory suggests that three-dimensional space and time are essentially created by the brain in order to organize the masses of data that make up reality. The brain operates like a translation device, in the same way that a television set organizes bits of electronic data into an image. If the human brain creates space and time, then theoretically the brain could project the mind into the past or future, making itself essentially immortal.
That's astonishing. I hope you intend to publish on this theory.
I'm still conducting my research.
Wow. I am amazed.
Can you tell me more about the East African shaman?
I'll tell you what I remember. It's a well-documented case from the early 1900s, researched by a member of the Society for Psychical Research. He was traveling in Africa when he ran across this shaman. He put the man through a variety of tests and reached the conclusion that the shaman was projecting electricity at strong enough levels to literally start fires, predictably and reliably. This notion seemed confirmed by the odd fact that when the shaman was wet, his fire-starting ability didn't work. Of course, in those days, experiments in electricity were all the rage, so you have to take that into consideration. Still, he made a compelling case.
Thank you for your expertise, Doctor. There's one more thing. I was hoping you could give me some advice on how I might help Laura. Help her come through.
Dr. Stiles, I'm not sure what you mean by coming through. Earthbound spirits are trapped here because of some unresolved trauma or an inability to accept their own deaths. The goal in such a scenario is to free the spirit so that he or she can move on.
Move on? To what? Oblivion? I mean, what if Laura could be brought back?
But what body would she inhabit? How could she interact with our world? All religions believe that there is some kind of afterlife and...
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I'm afraid it's getting quite late. I must go.
I do hope you'll keep in touch. I'd like to know how this develops.
Of course. Good day.
He doesn't
Goodbye.
want to hear about it. And some of them do believe that a soul gets a new body in the form of reincarnation. Heck, there is a movie about these type of matters. So why are we back at the house? I would like to go to Timmins Park. But yeah.
Look, Mummy, it's a monster.
Oh.
Shh. Sweetheart.
That doesn't help. If you go when a child points at you. Alright, anything else here? No, but I do love to go to Timmins Park. Some of those aquarels were very nice, and I want to see where they stem from. Nope. Well, I got a cat around here. Well, it's nearly time to leave anyways, but I just want to do a little more. Timmins Park Boathouse. Is it the only way we can go to? No, I was already like wondering what the heck.
I don't think that sitting on this bench could trigger any particular memory. I should try something else. I remember the park, but it's quite vague. Where should I go? The main track is down there. I remember the park, but this way leads to the lake.
I can remember a picture of a boat in the lake, so I guess that is more logical to me. Oh my!
This is the tree. I carved our initials here on a summer day.
fountains are also that way. Alright, I do think we also have those in one of the pictures. So I guess we need to go to both areas. Just wanted to see if there's a man that came around here when we were communicating with the tree, if you will. It was still there, but he isn't. Then I guess we're gonna go to the park house, but in the meantime I'm also going to say I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.